Life today is filled with endless comparisons. We look at others and believe they are doing better, living brighter, or achieving more. This constant habit leaves us restless and unhappy. Ancient wisdom offers another way. It teaches that true peace comes when we turn inward, not outward. Instead of measuring ourselves against others, we can discover calmness, gratitude, and strength within. The journey is not about winning over anyone, but about finding balance in our own hearts. Let these reflections guide that journey. When you spend your time looking at others, your heart begins to lose its calm. You start measuring your worth by what you see outside. This habit slowly eats away your inner peace. When you compare yourself to a neighbor, a colleague, or a friend, you feel either proud or small. Both feelings trap you. Pride creates arrogance. Feeling small creates pain. True peace is stolen in that moment because your mind is no longer resting within you. It is wandering outside, chasing shadows. The wise path reminds us that calmness cannot live in a mind busy with envy or pride. Imagine sitting by a still pond. If you keep throwing stones into it, the water ripples and distorts the reflection. In the same way, comparison is like throwing stones into your own heart. You disturb the natural stillness. To live peacefully, you must let the pond remain clear. The way to do this is to recognize that peace is not found by looking outward, but by guarding your own thoughts. Whenever you catch yourself comparing, pause, breathe. Ask yourself if this habit is serving your well-being. The answer will always be no. Each moment you stop the urge to compare, you protect your heart. You give yourself the chance to live freely without being tied to anyone else's story. The mind becomes lighter, the body feels calmer, and you begin to taste freedom. This is not about ignoring others, but about choosing not to measure your worth against them. Inner peace grows when you stop feeding the restless desire to be more than someone else. Protect your calmness as you would protect your breath. When peace is kept safe inside, life becomes easier, softer, and more joyful. Every human being walks along a unique road. No two paths are the same. The lessons, challenges, and blessings that appear for you are yours alone. When you forget this truth, you begin to compare. You wonder why someone else has more or moves faster. But if you look closely, you will see that every journey carries its own weight. The person you envy has burdens you cannot see. The person you admire may be struggling in silence. Just as no two trees grow in the exact same way, no two lives can ever be identical. Some bloom quickly, others take time, but all grow according to their own nature. When you accept this, you no longer feel the need to measure yourself against another. You start to honor your own steps, however small. The path you walk is teaching you exactly what you need to learn. The more you trust this, the less restless you become. Life becomes lighter because you no longer carry the heavy burden of comparison. Instead, you walk with awareness and patience. Every step becomes a teacher. Some steps are painful, but they shape you. Others are joyful, and they remind you of the beauty of the journey. The wise ones remind us that the road is not a race. It is not about reaching the finish before anyone else. It is about walking your path with honesty and patience. When you understand this truth, compassion also grows. You stop judging others because you see that they too are on their own road. You realize that everyone is learning something different. This brings kindness to your heart. Life is no longer a competition of who walks faster. It becomes a shared journey where each person is honored for the path they walk. The idea that life is a contest causes endless stress. Many people chase after success because they believe it must be bigger than the success of others. They believe they are falling behind if someone else gets there first. But success is not a trophy that only one person can hold. Success is not limited. It is not something that shrinks when another person achieves it. The sun shines for all without losing its light. In the same way, your own growth and achievements do not disappear because someone else has theirs. The trouble begins when we see life as a race. We push ourselves harder, not from love, but from fear of being less. This fear poisons the joy of our progress. The wise teaching is clear. Success is not about being above others, but about living with truth and purpose. Imagine planting a flower. You do not rush it to bloom before the flowers in the neighbor's garden. You water it, give it light, and trust its time. In the same way, you must nurture your dreams without comparing them to someone else's. Success is simply progress toward what matters to you. It is finding peace in your work, joy in your growth, and balance in your heart. When you stop viewing life as a competition, you begin to celebrate not only your own journey but also the journey of others. You smile when they rise, because their light does not dim yours. You cheer for them without fear because you know your path is your own. The moment you stop racing against the world, you finally taste freedom. The victory is not in running faster than others, but in walking steadily with your own truth. Real success is found in living fully, not in competing. Jealousy is a fire that burns from within. It grows when you look at others and feel you lack what they have. This fire eats away at joy and creates endless suffering. But there is water that puts out this fire, and that water is gratitude. When you begin to count your blessings, the flame of jealousy weakens. You see that life has already given you so much. Each breath, each meal, each smile, each small success is a gift. When you bring your attention to these gifts, your heart begins to soften. Gratitude shifts your vision. Instead of focusing on what you do not have, you begin to notice what you do have. You realize that even the simple things are treasures. A roof over your head, food on your table, health in your body, and people who care are blessings beyond measure. When you hold this awareness, envy cannot take root. Gratitude teaches you to rejoice not only in your own gifts, but also in the gifts of others. You see their light and celebrate it instead of feeling threatened. Their happiness becomes a reminder of life's abundance. Each time you feel the sting of jealousy, pause and turn inward. Ask yourself, what do I already have that brings me joy? Write it down, speak it aloud, or simply feel it. This practice changes the state of your mind. Gratitude is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It is about balancing the mind so that it does not drown in longing. It brings you back to the present moment and reminds you that peace is already here. The more you practice gratitude, the less space jealousy has to grow. Gratitude is the gentle teacher that heals envy and restores joy. Life becomes heavy when you constantly measure yourself by where others stand. This habit takes your attention away from what truly matters, your own growth. Progress is not about being better than someone else. It is about being better than you were yesterday. When you begin to focus only on your steps, you find freedom. You stop looking sideways, you look forward, and you walk at your own pace. The wise ones tell us that real progress is slow, steady, and personal. Imagine climbing a mountain. If you keep turning your head to see how high others have climbed, you will stumble. But if you keep your eyes on your own path, you will rise steadily. In the same way, when you focus on your own progress, life becomes clear. Every small effort counts. Even one kind word, one mindful breath, or one honest choice is progress. These little steps build a strong foundation for a peaceful life. When you let go of the need to measure against others, you begin to enjoy your own journey. You see your strengths, your growth, and your unique path. This awareness keeps you motivated. You no longer waste energy chasing after someone else's pace. Instead, you invest that energy into becoming your best self. And progress is not always visible. Sometimes it is the quiet shift inside your heart. It may be patience where anger once lived. It may be courage where fear once ruled. These changes cannot be measured by anyone else, but they are powerful victories. The more you honor your progress, the less restless you feel. Life is no longer a race. It is a steady walk toward inner peace. Each step you take is enough. Each moment of growth is worth celebrating. People often believe that happiness lies outside. They think it is hidden in wealth, fame, or approval. But no matter how much they gain, satisfaction fades. The reason is simple. Happiness is not found in what you collect, but in how you live inside yourself. The teachings remind us that joy arises when the heart is calm, kind, and free. If your mind is full of craving, even the richest life feels empty. If your mind is full of peace, even the simplest life feels rich. Look at a child playing with nothing but laughter. That joy is not bought. It is born from within. The same is true for all of us. When you turn inward, you realize happiness grows from simple things. Being present, breathing deeply, showing kindness, and accepting life as it is. This kind of joy cannot be stolen because it does not depend on the outside world. It lives in your own heart. Each time you pause to breathe with awareness, you taste it. Each time you choose compassion over anger, you feel it. Each time you accept yourself as enough, you experience it. The world outside will always change. Wealth, beauty, status, and praise come and go like passing seasons. But inner joy does not fade if you nurture it. It is like a flame that glows steadily in the dark. To find it, you do not need to chase anything. You need only to return to yourself. Silence the restless voice that says you need more. Listen instead to the quiet voice that says you are already whole. The more you practice this, the stronger your joy becomes. True happiness is not out there. It has always been here, waiting within you. The mind loves to wander. It runs toward thoughts of what others have, where they are, and how you compare. This restless habit becomes so strong that you do it without noticing. But there is a gentle key that unlocks freedom from this cycle. That key is mindfulness. When you are mindful, you bring your attention back to this moment. You notice your breath. You notice your body. You notice your feelings. And in that awareness, the habit of comparison begins to weaken. Imagine eating a meal with full presence. Instead of thinking about someone else's food or life, you taste your own. The flavors become rich. The moment becomes whole. This is the gift of mindfulness. It roots you in your own life, so you no longer waste energy looking outside. Each time you catch yourself comparing, gently guide your mind back. Say to yourself, "This is my life, here and now." Notice your breath. Notice the ground under your feet. This practice breaks the chain of restless thoughts. It gives you the strength to choose peace instead of envy. Over time, mindfulness becomes a habit. You become aware not only of your breath, but also of your thoughts and reactions. You see comparison rising in your mind and you let it go. You watch it pass like a cloud in the sky. With practice, you spend less time lost in what others have and more time alive in your own moments. This presence makes life richer. You begin to taste joy in simple things, the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of tea, the sound of laughter. All of these moments are already yours when you live with awareness. Mindfulness is the gentle teacher that returns you to yourself and frees you from endless comparison. Many people measure their worth by the opinions of others. They believe they are valuable only when praised, loved, or admired. But this is a fragile way to live. If people's voices rise, you feel high. If people's voices fall, you feel low. Your worth becomes like a leaf blown by the wind. Yet the truth is clear. Your value is not defined by anyone else. It is already complete. From the moment you were born, you carried a unique light. No one can take it away. No one can add to it. You may achieve, grow, and change, but your core value remains untouched. Imagine a diamond covered in dust. Even if no one sees it shine, its worth is still there. In the same way, your worth does not vanish when others fail to see it. Their opinions are only reflections, not the truth. The wise teaching encourages us to stop chasing validation and start trusting our inner value. When you recognize this, you walk with more strength. You stop begging for approval. You stop fearing rejection. Instead, you stand firm in your own dignity. This does not mean you close your heart to others. It means you no longer let their voices define who you are. When praise comes, you accept it with grace, but do not cling. When criticism comes, you listen, but do not collapse. Your value remains steady. To live this truth, remind yourself daily, "I am enough." Hold this thought gently in your heart. With time, it becomes your anchor. You will notice freedom growing within you. Life feels lighter when you no longer depend on others to measure your worth. Your value is not something to be given or taken. It is already yours, eternal and complete. When you are busy comparing yourself, you become blind to your own beauty. You cannot see your strengths because your eyes are fixed on others. This blindness steals self-acceptance. You start believing you are not enough. You criticize your looks, your work, or your achievements. You fail to notice the gifts already within you. But acceptance is the ground where peace grows. Without it, you will always feel restless. The teachings remind us that comparison is like a fog. It covers your true nature. To clear this fog, you must turn inward. Begin by noticing the ways you have grown. Reflect on the struggles you have overcome. See the courage in your story. These reflections help you recognize your worth. Acceptance does not mean you stop growing. It means you honor who you are while you grow. Imagine holding a child in your arms. You love the child not because it is perfect, but because it is precious as it is. Now imagine holding yourself in the same way. This is self-acceptance. The more you practice it, the less you feel the need to compare. You begin to see yourself with kind eyes. You notice your unique qualities. You respect your journey. The fog of comparison slowly fades and the light of self-acceptance shines. Life feels softer when you no longer fight yourself. You live with more ease because you are no longer at war within. Each moment becomes a chance to honor who you are. And when you accept yourself, you naturally bring more kindness to others. You stop judging harshly because you know how healing compassion feels. The path becomes clear. Self-acceptance is not about perfection. It is about seeing yourself fully and gently. This vision grows when comparison ends. The greatest victory is not over others, but over yourself. When you stop competing, you free your energy to grow in the ways that matter. Growth is the true reward. Each time you choose patience instead of anger, you grow. Each time you choose kindness instead of envy, you grow. These are victories no one else may see, but they are real. They shape your life in powerful ways. Imagine a tree. It does not compete with the trees around it. It simply grows toward the sun, quietly, steadily, and fully. In the same way, your task is not to outshine anyone, but to grow into your own light. The more you focus on your growth, the stronger and more peaceful you become. You stop wasting energy on battles that do not matter. You stop chasing approval or fearing failure. Instead, you invest your energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Growth is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is as small as breathing with awareness, speaking with kindness, or choosing honesty. These small acts build strength. Over time, they transform you. The real victory is waking up each day and deciding to grow. No one can take this away from you. Others may rise and fall, but your growth remains your own. It is the treasure that cannot be stolen. And when you honor this truth, life feels like a steady climb toward peace. You see challenges not as proof of failure, but as chances to grow deeper. You celebrate progress, however small. You live with patience because you know growth takes time. This is the quiet victory that brings lasting joy. The race against others fades, and the journey of self-growth becomes your greatest triumph.